Hey, welcome back to Nights and Weekends. Let me make sure my mic's on. Hey, welcome back to Nights and Weekends with me, Marcus, your host. As you can see from the very, I think, pretty nice thumbnail about Viva Trump. It looks as if Trump is making a little bit of inroads when it comes to our Latin voters here in this country. Marcus, throw in the clip that kind of started off. Throw in the clip from, I think it's Meet the Press.
I'm joined by national political correspondent Steve Kornacki to take us through the new NBC News, Telemundo, CNBC poll of Latino voters. Steve, break down these numbers for us.
Yeah, Kristen, some interesting stuff here. Again, we see every 4 years the Latino vote becomes a bigger and bigger share of the overall electorate. Well, among Latinos, our poll shows Kamala Harris leading Donald Trump 54 to 40%. Now, for some context, this is a little bit better for Democrats than they were doing among Hispanics when Joe Biden was their candidate. But I think the bigger story here is historically, 54 to 40 now is a 14-point advantage for the Democrats. Take a look back at the last three presidential elections, and these were the results in the exit polls among Hispanic voters. That 14, look at that cut there, almost 20 points less than just 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, we were saying Donald Trump had made inroads with Hispanic voters. This suggests that that has continued apace. So what is driving this shift? Well, we see a few big gaps here. A gender gap. Familiar with this one, certainly. Men tied when it comes to this race. Women, a 26-point advantage. Again, among Hispanic voters here, there's a gender gap, as we see with polls of overall vote. We also see an education divide. Again, we talk about this a lot when we're talking about the overall pool of voters, too. Men without four-year degrees, that's now a double-digit Trump constituency in our poll. Men with degrees, siding with Harris here, bigger margins among women, but we are seeing a bit of that education. Talking a little bit about the issues. What's the most important issue? We asked in this poll, abortion clocking in there, and Kamala Harris, big advantage. We see that being competent and effective. Kamala Harris leading there as well. But then the biggies. These are the ones that Hispanic voters are saying are the most important to them. Economy, small advantage Trump. Inflation, 9-point advantage. And how about that? On the border and on immigration, Donald Trump with a double-digit advantage, 13 points in our poll. When asked who would be better on this issue, Hispanic voters are saying it's Donald Trump, and that is
Edit and Marcus here. So I wanted to say this because I'm listening to myself back on here, and I didn't bring this up. As we can see, Hispanics view immigration, the economy, and inflation being higher on their list than abortion and competency and effectiveness, quote unquote. Just because they're Hispanic doesn't mean that they are perfectly fine with people illegally immigrating into this country. Okay? Just because they're brown doesn't mean that they get down with the stupid stuff. Back to the video. So as we can see there, Trump seems to be making some inroads there when it comes to Latinos. All right. Not LATINX, like how this type of person would have told you. Let me click on this. This is the person who would have told you to call them Latinx. Okay. Her. I'm going to constantly refer to this person as we go through this. But let us look at the Latin population here in the U.S. This is going to be a pretty decently quick video as a matter of fact. Back when your Nights and Weekends host was just a wee baby. Latins made up about 14 to anywhere between 10 to 14 million of the U.S. population. Now they're at 62 million. Okay. And the folks on my side of the aisle we've always been trailing when it comes to them, because as anybody, okay, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus here. We all want the most for the least amount of work. Throw in that clip.
I just laugh when people just want to divide us. I just laugh when people want to get caught up in how you look, your size, your color, your background. I'm like, fool, shut up. We all wired the same. You want to know what that is? Human beings are wired to get the most by doing the least. That part. And
that is true for most people. Most people want the most amount of stuff possible with the least amount of work put in. Okay? Now, are we going to talk about how that's going to be one of the downfalls of this country? Oh, definitely. Oh, that you can take to the bank, boomer. Okay. Is that nonchalant anything goes crap eventually adds up. But let us look here. As of right now, Kamala has a 54 and Trump's at 40. But if you look back here, it used to be 65 for the folks on the left and 26 for the people on my side of the aisle. And as we can see, it's been for those 9 percentage points, the folks on my side gained 14 percentage points. Okay, now let us also go here. This has a breakdown of the 2020 Latino vote. I'm pretty sure I had to highlight something in here. Here we go. This is the most important part. While third-party candidates received about 6% of the vote nationwide in 2016, as of which Libertarian Gary Johnson took over half, they received just 1.5% of the total in 2020. As such, Donald Trump in some states made more gains than Biden lost. For example, while Biden lost 4 points in Nevada, Trump improved by 8 percentage points compared to his last go-round. Okay? If we scroll down here, as I said, back even as of just recently, 1996, 72% of them, at least in the presidential vote, would vote for the Democrat over the Republican. The folks on my side reached a high water mark with Latinos in 2004. And we were low, and now we're on the way up. Okay? Now, these are the 5, well, minus California, because we already know where they're going to go, and we know where Florida is going to go. But in Arizona, Biden cleaned up among women in particular. He won 68% of the vote. And among men, he won 58%. In Nevada, which is also kind of a toss-up, we don't necessarily know, he won 66% of the Latin women, and he won 45% of the Latin men. Now, as you can remember from the video from Meet the Press, there is a huge gender gap when it comes to how we're voting in this election, which has probably always been going on, but it's even more pronounced now. The men, especially the not college educated men, are swinging for Trump. The men in general are slightly toward Trump over Kamala. Okay. And the women are overwhelmingly on the left. Now, we're going to go on ahead and click here. Now, since the nights and weekends guy, he happened not to, because I do all this stuff live, even though it isn't live when I put it out, obviously, but it's live when I actually come up with it. The thing is that unmarried, untethered, single woman cohort is the group that is voting overwhelmingly for the folks on the left. Okay? It is not the married woman who actually has a family. I'm going to look that up, and Ed and Marcus is going to edit the big old pause out of there, okay? Dun, 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 dun. You all missed all of the looking it up, but it's actually pretty easy here. All right, so let us go on ahead and click on it. This is from Pew. Married men, 60% of them either are on the right or lean right. Married women are 50% on the right versus being like 45% lean Democrat. Okay. And if you look at men who live with partner, Democrat. Women who live with partner, Democrat. Divorced or separated, Democrat. Let us look at just overall, if you're married, you're more likely to be on the right because, I don't know, you mostly live in reality where a whole bunch of folks who are single, especially this kind of person, throw in that clip.
I wouldn't want no man holding me down because I think I can make it as a single parent.
But don't you think you might need help in raising that baby from a man?
Not really. I didn't have a father. My father wasn't in the home, so, it really, male figures are not substantially important in the family.
Ed and Marcus here. That clip is from the 70s. Can you believe that? So no, this isn't something new. This is what they've been doing. They've been doing hook, line, and sinker with these single women. Clip. The person who says I'm strong and independent, I don't need a man, blah blah blah, but they're getting their college paid for by the government. Their kid has WIC or Medicaid, or they're getting their housing subsidized. I don't want to hear a god dang thing about you being strong and independent when your life is completely financially undergirded by the government. Okay. This woman right here, this is the person who is going to tell you that, oh, people of color. And, in like her head, everybody who's non-white thinks the same. We don't. Okay. So she can take her blue hair and shove it. But just to finish up here, I had to throw in something that Kamala also, it is going to be weekly installments as to what Kamala Harris actually stood for when she was running for president the last time, that the media will not end up telling you because they're liars. Okay. And they are on her side. Overwhelmingly. I swear to God. And if you're a dumbass out in the audience who is like, well, you all have Fox News. That's one damn channel compared to, let me go on ahead and start up. ABC, NBC, CBS, New York Times, LA Times, all of their writing and everything that they put out, on your television or phone or computer all leans to the left. Okay. Do I have to pull out the damn chart as to where these buttholes actually put their money when it comes to voting? You want to know what? Yep. Yes. And the hell we are. Here we go. See, the thing that's nice, again, as the proprietor here, only guy on this shit, I can go on ahead and edit all that out. So you all didn't see that. But just so that we remember, this kind of person is the person who's writing your news and stuff like that, and also saying people of color all the same, blah, 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 or at least that is her implicit assumption. But at the same time, they do not tell you that they also donate overwhelmingly to the folks on the left. The Media Research Center, which describes its mission as to expose and neutralize the propaganda arm of the left, the national news media, use federal campaign finance data collected by the Center for Responsive Politics to identify donors working for ABC, CBS, NBC, the New York Times, and the Washington Post between 2008 and 2016. Of the 122 donors identified, 94%. That means 115 of them donated to Democrats. Okay. So, see, now I've like completely forgot what it was I was where I was going with that. But just to finish up here. Oh, that is right. It was to talk about Kamala and what it is that she did when she was actually running. Not this time around where she runs from interviews and everything like that. So at least for my folks who are Christians and stuff like that, and folks that are on the left talking about how we need to help people. And again, when I sit there and I say that the moral compass of this country is being completely broken by exactly people like her, but more so by the people who vote for her. Here we go. So back when Kamala was running in 2019, why it matters. It's among several progressive stances Harris has either abandoned or gone silent on as she's moved toward the center in her abbreviated race for the White House. In 2019, The Root asked Harris whether she thought sex work ought to be decriminalized. She responded, I think so. I do. This is about decriminalizing prostitution. So, as I said, it's going to be maybe a weekly thing on what Kamala Harris actually stood for, so that when you get into the voting booth, you might actually be able to come to some type of informed decision. But that's it. Trump is making some inroads when it comes to our Latino brothers and sisters. I think that's excellent. It'd be great if he was able to get over half of them. It'd be awesome. But who knows? The only thing I would end up saying is Viva Trump. See you in a week.